Are caves portals? Among many fascinating cave mysteries you'll encounter, you'll find this repeated theme and pattern of caves being portals. From the Bible and many other sources that we're about to cover, plus this really fascinating Moses-Elijah time nexus, possible time travel mystery we'll close with later. From Muhammad receiving the word from Gabriel inside of a cave, where he would get the information he would write the Quran from, to Steve Jobs, who stayed in a cave, trained with some guru, had some visions inside of a cave, and came back with all this technology that he would then use to start the iPhone with. Fascinating story. Kind of implies meeting with a spirit being. In Hindu, a cave is the most holy site. The Ellora Caves, shrine and temple, is where Shiva revealed secrets.
Innumerable secret passageways, caverns, corridors, and labyrinths.
And it was said that these caves went to an underground super cave where there were energy machines and other ancient devices from the world before.
And this place looks just like the gates of hell, which is a cave inside of Mount Hermon. That whole area, Mount Hermon in Israel, is where Enoch says the fallen angels descended. There's also a UN base there with lots of protection, probably portals and other weird stuff. In Greek mythology, Zeus was born in a cave. Da Vinci, one of the greatest geniuses, has really fascinating cave mysteries where he disappeared in a cave for 2 years. Missing years of time, coming back with all sorts of inventions and fascinating ideas and genius level stuff that other people couldn't come with. This whole side rabbit trail of geniuses and where that word genius comes from kind of comes from jinn and the implication of extraterrestrial or spiritual, not of this world intelligence guiding them. Super side rabbit hole about childhood testing for geniuses, IQ testing, certain programs like GATE and other MK Ultra rabbit holes that I might get into. What are they trying to filter out of the public at an early age? Also with people like Da Vinci disappearing in caves and coming back with technology inventions, are they part of this technology rollout program that has to do with the reset patterns and when technology is allowed to be released back into the public again? Seemingly for the first time though. In Vietnam, the Son Dong Cave, plenty local sightings of reptilian beings that come out of the cave and resemble form of seraphim. Also fallen seraphim, who wouldn't say they're fallen, live underground in inner earth according to Kabbalistic traditions. And US soldiers in Vietnam said they saw the same thing. Quote, upright lizards in caves. Are they all seeing the same thing? Plug to the Theory of Everything playlist, an ancient dragon thread that you'll see all throughout the ancient world. Moving into Peru, where they also have the Amaru serpent deities, pattern continued, there's this doorway of the Amaru Meru, this door right into the cave. Shamans with special keys that open this door, only they have the access. Probably with a special artifact, or a certain tone or utterance or DNA activation, or combination of the above. Legends of Shambhala, things in the Himalayan mountains, or things inside of Mount Shasta, where there's plenty of legends of people literally coming through portals and walking right into a wall and disappearing into the cave. They say they see tall blonde beings there, which is the same thing the Mexican Tara Amaru say they see. Tall blondes that come through doorways, in caves. Seems like caves are portals to me.
They definitely believe that caves are a conduit to communicating with non-human entities.
It's almost as though they're opening a doorway into a spiritual consciousness in which they're able to communicate with these divine beings and hopefully become divine themselves.
Also the ant people and Hopi legends of where they came from, and other Native Americans to say their origin is coming up from cave systems from out of the earth to the earth, and that was their origin. Caveman, huh? New paradigm for that phrase, maybe. Especially seeing how the ancients were completely wise, the opposite of what we've been taught. Speaking of evolution, how about the idea of intelligent dinosaurs evolving? Why were humans the only ones to evolve? Harvard speculates on this in a recent article that I'll come back to in a second, but the idea of intelligent dinosaurs evolving into sentient reptilians. Basically, they're just mixing words. Basically, all of this stuff with the cave portal theory kind of ties in everything from the inner earth theory to missing 411, even things like DUMBs and military installations, and other UAPs that just disappear into cave systems or underground somewhere. Also, did angels build Kuyu for chosen people to survive, reset cataclysmic pattern-like events? Was this the same angelic technology that built the Ellora caves, tunnel systems, and temples in India? Might be. Also, this ice cave, if you look at it, really looks like you're kind of looking at the sky. Firmament tie-in. In Cloves, caves are mysterious in general. You can't just walk in any cave. There's lots of dangers, things you can and can't smell. That could be harmful to breathe. Things like whether the water is bubbling or not, or moving when you walk in. Also, speaking of the nose and scent, the olfactory system seems completely spiritual and linked to discernment. Some accounts of Jesus' birth have the manger as actually a cave, and we know his death was buried in a cave. Plus, there was angels there at that cave, the portal of resurrection power. What are caves? What are mountains? What are volcanoes? All worth a second look. Especially considering that Harvard article I mentioned speculates that the moon might actually be a base, an observation base. Probably the Watchers because, well, they watch. If you study the Bible, you find a really fascinating thread. Things with Elijah and Moses' life parallel each other in a lot of ways, aside from each doing a 40-day fast, and possibly being the two witnesses, which I might come back to later. You'll see each of them have incidents in caves. Aside from Elijah living in a cave, they each have an incident where they see the Lord in a cave, tucked into the cleft of it. I'm wondering if both of these incidents are a time nexus that actually tie into the transfiguration, where you see there's a time nexus where Jesus sees Elijah and Jesus sees Moses, and Peter even sees them and offers to build a tabernacle for them. Funny, he knows exactly who they are too, even though he's obviously never seen them in real life. Funny how the spirit realm works. I'm wondering at the time Elijah lived and the time that Moses lived, when they independently had the cave experiences, if they were all linked together on some sort of common ground, and that's what happened at the Transfiguration, where they all met together, when Jesus was seeing the law and the prophets. Time travel mysteries for another day. Don't get lost in any caves. See you right back here. Same Batcave time, same Savage Truth channel.